All right, we'll just see if anybody joins us in a moment. If it's set up to live stream simultaneously, I'll delete the one I'm not doing at the moment. Yeah, all right, I'll delete the other one because that's the one I'm not doing. Delete video, there we go. So I've had a theory, all right, everybody? Right, cool. So I've had a theory which should stop the PC crashing when I do a stream. And I completely forgot you could do this, but what I'm doing is I'm streaming via YouTube's inbuilt streaming thing now on the PC, not using OBS Studio. So I think this should work fine, because I think it's OBS that's crashing the PC, not just simply streaming. So yeah, hopefully this will work fine. So yeah, there's the merch. Look, I'll just shill it at the beginning. I assume Teespring links below. Evening, Rich. Cheers, Rocks. So yeah, hopefully this one won't crash. How I'm doing it is just simply using YouTube's inbuilt streaming thing to do it rather than OBS. I think the frame angle's a bit wider on this because you can see the top of the SLR and you can see the bed at the same time, which I don't think is normally the case. That's actually quite good. Yeah, I've done it now, proper mask. It's because when I was setting it up, I didn't realize you had to click a different tab first before you set the stream up. But if this works, I can stream like this from now on this PC until I get a new one. It should be fine. But to be honest, it might just be easier to stream like this full stop. So we'll see. The only thing is I don't know if I can boost my microphone at all using this setting, so I'll move it a bit closer to my face. Let me see if I can make the computer fan a bit quieter as well. There we go. Well, it's now a low-pitch rumble rather than a higher whir, but... yeah, all I'm doing, Mike, is I'm using YouTube's inbuilt thing to stream, which I completely forgot they had, rather than the OBS way of doing it. I think that's probably how you did a stream, isn't it? Because I think I said to you on the Twitter message, I'm using like the Google Hangout. But the weird thing is, and I don't know why, I can actually get a bigger frame like this. As far as I'm aware, you get more up and down on this, which is really handy. And hopefully there's less latency issues. No worry, proper mask. I appreciate the thought, but if you broke, you broke. Right, so that diagram poster, the big one I assume you mean, is a Soviet civil defense poster all about respirators. So how it works is it's basically showing the GP5, the GP5M, how to measure your head to fit a Soviet mask, how to look after a GP5, how to test it tight to your face. Then it shows children's masks on the right, like the PDFs. Then it also shows the P2 or Y2K respirator, U2K respirator, the PY60M, a couple of other ones like the PTM1 in the middle there. So yeah, it's just like a civil defense sort of poster that shows how to fit a gas mask properly and all that. They've always been there, but it's just, I think because the frame is larger now, you can see them better. If you've got a question, Alex, go ahead. What is the strangest gas mask that I own? That's a very good question. I'm going to have to think. I assume you mean actual gas masks, because the PTM ones are pretty strange, but they're not actually gas masks, they're dust masks. Gas masks. Maybe something like the XM28. My favourite Soviet gas mask, Alex, is the Shums or SHMS. Do I have it in the room? If I've got it in the room, I'll show you it, but I don't know if I store it in here or elsewhere. I think it might be. Stop these falling off the shelf. It might be in here. If this is it, I'll show you it. Cheers, Foxtrot Whiskey Tango. I can't read the chat as well now because I was taking my glasses off because I'm short-sighted, and the chat isn't particularly huge. But this is hopefully my Shums in here. It's the East German satchel bag for it. So yeah, this is it. So it's the mask that the Soviets designed for snipers and optical crews. So it's got a voice diaphragm and it's got the creepy sort of smaller eyepieces. So yeah, this is a Ghost mask, but I've got the safe Polish FP what are they called? FP203s, is it? I've forgotten the name, or FP201. You're on about these the other day, and I've already forgotten what it is. So let's reopen this one. Yeah, as I was saying the other day when people said, oh, it looks like the GP5, it actually doesn't. I don't know if you can see in there, but you can tell it's a different kind of HEPA filter in the bottom. I think it's a kind of plastic, Rich, but I'm not sure. It won't be very strong plastic anyway. So that's the mask on. It will vibrate a bit when I talk. Now what I'll do is if I get the filter into the filter section, which is there, then I sort the hose out. It's a bit awkward doing this one up without looking, but there we go. I'm now breathing through that big red filter. But I can see the screen alright still, because obviously this mask is designed for looking straight ahead, so there's still that. The Metro Cut mask, although it looks a lot more like this one, is actually the PMG1. That's the mask it's based on. I've actually got the PMG1 in this room as well. So, the Metro Cut mask is this mask, the PMG1. Although in Half-Life 2, the Metro Cops had like a filter at the bottom of it. The real PMG1 takes a filter on the left side. So that's what I was saying, the Metro Cop mask, although it's directly designed on the PMG1, kind of looks closer to the shims. But yeah, they're the cool, creepy Soviet masks from the sort of 60s. Right, I'll go back to the chat now. Apologies if I missed any messages, just repaste them if you want to see them again. I've only just started streaming Maxi, so at least an hour or so. No, because I don't have the PDFs in this room, and I don't want to keep getting masks down all the stream, so I'll get it for you on another stream, Alex, if you want. The shims can use like a GP5 style filter, or it can use the coffee cans or the EO14s, because it's 40mm Ghost. So I said I've got a safe filter on it, because it's a Polish post-communist filter for industry, which is the big red sort of EO14 style filter. But obviously don't use it with the original green filters or any of those. But in terms of, let me just adjust this because I've got the strap in the awkward way with that satchel. Obviously, yeah, be careful. You can put Polish FP5 filters and things like that on it if you want a modern safe filter on it. But this is my favourite Soviet mask when people ask, just simply because with this mask, you can actually look down iron sights and scopes absolutely fine, where a lot of masks you can't do that. No idea, Colby, it probably depends on the airport and how suspicious you're acting. Don't forget to like the stream, everybody, because apparently there's 41 people in, but 17 likes, so don't forget to give it a like, because that seems to help people see it. 42 people in there, good numbers. So let me read your comment, Julian. So you've got a PDF for you and your girlfriend when you cosplay, and you don't want to use the filters, which is a sensible thing because PDF filters do probably contain asbestos. I can't remember, to be honest. I think the filter screws, like you know the external cap bits, don't you? I think they screw into the filter itself, but I imagine there would be a way of probably bodging them in. So even without the filters in, what you could probably do is stick some newspaper or something in the cheek cavity to make the cheeks look like the filter's in there, and then probably get the filter screw-in bits hooked onto the paper somehow so they stay in place. That would be my advice. But you can probably play about with it. I'm sure if you're doing cosplay stuff, you'll probably have a bit of time to spare to, you know, like mess about with your props and that, wouldn't you? So, in your outfit. So you would be able to, with the PDF, make it so you could breathe through it and fill the cheeks out, even if you didn't want to use PDF filters. There would be a way of doing it.
Yes, Sweden. I've been from the north of Norway to the bottom of Norway before, Rox, and that was a very long trip. So I imagine it's similar to Sweden, isn't it? Because you're like next door to Norway. Yeah, Mike's given you some very good advice there. Yeah, if you've got a small SAS there, we put the book, put it in a bug out bag so you can refer to it. Yeah, the SLR is real. It's deactivated. I'm pointing at it correctly now. It's hard to see because it's there. You go. Yeah, the SLR, it's real but deactivated. So basically, it can't ever fire again because they've welded bits shut and deactivated bits. But it's completely real. Might just put the camera up ever so slightly if I'm sat here like this, because then you can see the tops of the barrels a bit more on some of the things. You still see everything else. Yeah, I've already said, Alex, the FP5 filter fits shims and all the other Soviet masks. So yeah, if you wanted to, you can put an FP5 directly on the bottom of this mask. What do you mean, is that one of your favourite rifles? I wouldn't know, Foxtrot, if it's one of your favourite rifles or not. For how much are they, Maxi? Because I think D&B Militaria had a couple of deactivated laws for around £200. If you've got the money and have the space to spare, they'd definitely be a very cool thing to own. No idea the proper mask. I've got the SM67 or 69, whatever it's called, the previous Swiss one that's very similar. So I'm in no rush to get it. But Richard Weaponsmith did a very good video today where he replaced the lenses in his SM74 with the polycarbonate ones. £125 for a deactivated law. Go for it, definitely. As long as he's in the country, Evan, where that's legal, then that's absolutely fine, isn't it? That's a Polish sign, yeah, the one that's coming away from the wall. Let me just see if I can get that to stick back in its proper position. But yeah, that's apparently Polish. It's Warsaw Pact.
Have some coffee. But yeah, that's a Warsaw Pact sign, so it might be Polish. But I'm pointing in the wrong direction, aren't I? There we go. The weird thing is when YouTube does the stream, it's the opposite way round on the mirror than OBS. But yeah, so that sign there, yeah, that might be Polish, but it's basically a firing range sign to say, you know, mask area, sort of danger, I guess, inhalation risks. Well, my favourite gas mask in my collection is my Avon CT12. It's the one I'd use in any sort of emergency. But that doesn't technically mean it's the best. It's just the one I like the most. Because that Italian panoramic mask I got recently and that other panoramic mask, the one Bing recommended, let me show you that one. The MSA Hour. These are all very good. It's in a GP5 satchel, but it's not a GP5. Let's just see if I can get it to open. There you go. So this MSA Hour, you can buy these very cheaply, and these are very good masks for the cheap price you can get them for now. You can get lots of these on eBay and Amazon for around £30, and they're definitely worth it for that price. So it's 5-point rubber head harness. Let's just get the straps. Oh, thank you very much, Alex. You might have to buy replacement straps, or you might have to. It depends on the mask. Whereabouts did it break? Some masks, unfortunately, you won't be able to fix if the there we go, the straps broke. Because it really depends on how the design of the mask was done. No, this isn't the PPM88. That's the Metro 2033 mask. This is a, what did I say the name of it was? MSA Hour 3S, is it? This is better than the PPM88 in terms of build quality. But yeah, you can get these for like £30 on eBay and Amazon. I definitely recommend them for that price because they're very good panoramic masks. It's an FMJ05. Right, let me get my FMJ05. Let's have a look. I'm going to have to tidy up loads of gas masks after the stream. Are you already on the Discord, Alex? Because you've donated, you can obviously get on the Discord, but some people who gave me donations so far haven't actually given me a Discord ID, so I can't invite them, of course, until they give me a Discord ID. Right, so whereabouts did it break on the FMJ05? Because obviously I've got one here, although this is the MF11 civilian variant without the drinking tube. So is it like a bit of the rubber there or something? Because you said the rubber bit where the strap's attached to. So whereabouts did it break? Well, the Avon S10 doesn't make me feel sick. The S6 does because of how the lenses are shaped, but not on the S10. Left middle strap. So, or like that bit there. If the rubber's broken on that sort of thing, unless you've got some kind of rubber glue that you can re-glue it with, I don't know if there'd be any way of repairing it, I'm afraid. Because the problem with... you're already on the Discord call, Alex. Yeah, it's just I forget with how many people sometimes give donations if they're on or not. Yeah, unfortunately, if the rubber itself, the plastic through the rubber. So I'll like that little bit you mean. The yeah, I see the bit you mean, like that bit. Can you get a replacement button kind of thing that's similar? I don't know, because the problem with a lot of masks is if the certain bits break, you can't really get replacement parts, can you? You almost have to buy a new mask. The only thing I could suggest, really, is seeing if you could get any kind of rubber glue or anything that would let you patch it up, because you can get glues that kind of melt rubber and then glue them. Okay, so with the mask I was just showing, so what, like one of those bits? If it's just a plastic bit on that, that's just a cover in front of the voice diaphragm, so that's just a bit of the cover. So was it a bit of that? Was it that bit? Or like one of those bits? Because if it's those bits, it doesn't matter if they break, because they're just there for structural stability of the mask. Oh, cool. As long as you've got it somewhat working out. So tell you what, a bit later on, if you want to shove some pictures, if you want to take some pictures or something and put them on the Discord, some people might have some idea. Hype might be good to ask for that because he's obviously Chinese and he's got loads of these different masks. He might be able to give you some really good advice on that. All right, cheers, close up. Yeah, that's a joke I quite like, RN. It always gets brought up with bungee jumping. When somebody says, do you want to go bungee jumping? You say, a split rubber brought me into this world. I don't want to go out on a split rubber. It's one of those jokes that not everyone seems to get. But yeah, split rubbers can be very bad. Yeah, right. What I've done, Shot Zombie, if you missed the start of this, is I keep forgetting this, but YouTube actually has its own inbuilt streaming thing now. So you're not forced to use OBS or something like that anymore, a third-party streaming thing. So I thought I'll give YouTube's own inbuilt streaming thing a go, and so far it's fine. That's not to say the PC might not crash out any moment, but I'm pretty sure most of the crashes were happening because of OBS. Yeah, if I look at this at the moment, my CPU usage is jumping between about 25 and 40%, and physical memory is stable about 24%, so I think it should be fine. Yeah, thank you, Constantine. I guess a couple of £1,000, Isaac, but I really don't know. Let me have a look at the temperatures on my PC. Tell you what, I'm going to have to turn the fan up a bit because my CPU is getting to 60-odd degrees now. So, apologies, but it's going to get a bit louder on that thing. My GPU is getting quite hot as well, so whether or not that's a problem. Can I turn my GPU's fan up? Let me have a quick look. Because that could be the problem, that it's just all the components are getting too hot. Chat amongst yourself a minute, and I'll just have a look in my settings if I can get the GPU fan running a bit faster. Right, I'll stick the CPU on that fan speed, which I know is a bit louder, but that's at least going to vent the heat out pretty quickly. Yeah, the temperature's already dropping on that now, because that's at 100% cooler things. Right, let me just try and remember how I set the fan speeds in the radian things. Global settings, do I want that? Global Wattman, is that the one? Fan and temperature, set to automatic. Let's put that to 100%. I'm just going to try and see if I can basically make the fan on my GPU permanently just run faster. Apply. There we go. That fan's kicking in a lot more. Temperature dropping. Yeah, the temperature's dropping. Excellent. 74 degrees. 72 degrees. 71 degrees. 69 degrees. I'm just going to put all these up a bit higher anyway, actually, now. $66 degrees, 65 degrees, 64. Right, we've got it under control. Excellent. So apologies for the louder fan speeds. Yeah, so hopefully this might stop some of the crashing. I think what might have been the problem is maybe the GPU's fan wasn't revving up as fast as it should have done, so I put on manual control now, and I've basically told it, you know, if it's getting really hot, to go to 100% fan speed, because I think annoyingly on some of the profiles they try and optimize it being quiet other than cooking your PC. One's a civilian name for it, Matt, the other's the military name, otherwise they're the exact same thing. As long as I don't blow my feed water tank, I should be all right. I don't know if I can even look up the megawatts level, because it just shows me temperature and fan RPM, unless you're joking, like in terms of a Chernobyl thing, but I really don't know. I'm going to wait till I get my new PC, Owen, before I get my start streaming games again, just because that puts way too much stress on the components when it likes to crash at the moment. You have to donate to get on the Discord. But yeah, I've got liquid cooling on this PC, Rich, but that's for the CPU. The GPU's obviously just got like a blower kind of fan on it. Right, let me tell you, Bing, because as I said, I filmed it ages ago. It's just my videos are well in advance. I'm afraid you will have to wait, because all my videos are done way in advance, just because I have to do it like that, because I make a lot of videos. And obviously I work as well as doing YouTube stuff. So, MSA Hour 3S review and tests, July the 26th. So, about 2 weeks you have to wait for that. But as I think I said, it works in most helmets I've tried it with. Is there a particular helmet you want to know about? But I'm pretty sure you can use it fine in most helmets when I did the video. I don't have Roblox, so no, I will not play it with you. But you're welcome to donate 100, and I won't play Roblox with you. I thought you already said earlier you're too broke. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be when Mike gets around to it, Slingshot Warrior. I was only mildly contaminated, Shot Zombie. I'm told 3.6 Rontgen, so it's not really an issue, is it? When I tried the Mark 7 helmet, Bing, I'm pretty sure it worked fine with it. But I tell you what, Bing, before tomorrow's stream, I will try it again with the Mark 7, just in case I didn't use it in that video for whatever reason. But I'm pretty certain I did. And then I'll just double confirm with you it works the Mark 7, but I'm pretty sure it did. No, I've not seen Den of Thieves. P100 and P3 filters, I think you asked this in another video and I replied to you. They're the exact same thing. Look, I'll show you because it says on this one. Up and on the way back. So, I'm not sure if it says on here, but a lot of P3 filters will say P3/P100. And what it is that basically Americans call them P100, the EU and most countries call them P3. The reason is American does the particulate rating on how many percentage of particles they're meant to block. But a P100 filter can't exist because then you couldn't breathe through it, because if it blocked 100% of particles, you'd suffocate. So, Skyfalls, there you go. So P3 is the better term for it. Because in America, I think it's P95 for the P1. Then I think it's something like P97 or P98 for the P2. And then the P3 should be like P98 or P99, but they call it P100, which is technically incorrect, as I've just said. All right, see you, anybody that's off. Well, it's not great. It's not horrifying. Yeah, I've already done the stream on that map, that one. There's a stream, if you look through my old streams, where I tested it live on stream. It's shit if you want the answer. It's terrible. It might be okay as a cheap dust mask, but it's useless against vapor. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, these are in a £30 range, and they come with a sealed filter as well, so get one of these, the MSA Hour A3. Or one of those Spacianis. I'd say out of panoramic masks, the Spacianis are better. But, or even the Chinese panoramic masks. I'm not getting the foul down, Adolf. But judging by your username, goodbye. Since 2012, I think, Isaac. He's delusional. Yeah, good idea. Shot zombie. Just turn into Dyatlov for the chat. Cheers, Jason. I put a lot more effort into it recently, so it looks a lot less cluttered. Well, it's still sort of cluttered, but it's a lot more organized. Shelves with like Geiger counters on and everything behind me. You know, like the masks, like the actual wall display of all the posters and everything. I don't know, maybe you'll find old ones on eBay, Bradley, but I don't think people really make dog gas masks anymore. Well, I do a weekend job because YouTube's my day job during the week, and I'm a kitchen porter. So basically what that means is, you know, lots of washing up and things like that. But the garden centre where I'm a kitchen porter is very close to where I live, which is really convenient. So it means, you know, it's like a 10-minute, 15-minute walk from my house, 5-minute drive. Yeah, the reason I didn't do that before, Bing, was because up there, when I normally stream using OBS, it cuts that off. It's like, I'm assuming this is like 16:10 and not 16:9, maybe on the aspect ratio, which is why you can see more vertical stuff. But yeah, I can put some more stuff there. But I've ordered a sign from B Store today, actually, which is like a Russian kind of warning sign. So yeah, I'll put some more stuff up there. Probably the worst thing is probably hanging it by its straps for a long period of time, because that will wear out the harnesses and the straps in masks. Foam heads have never caused problems for any of my masks, but some people report they do. A lot of people say if you want to display masks safely, just stuff a load of paper inside them, which probably would work fine. The pH hood is in a box. Yeah, the poster cost me like 30 quid, but it's a good poster, isn't it? The other ones are ones I just printed out after a Google search, like the Fallout Shelter one and all the others. But, yeah, that's a professionally printed one. It's basically where some companies scanned in all the old Soviet posters and then you can buy modern prints of them in like high resolution. Because you can still buy the old Soviet ones, but they're quite like torn and often faded. So I just wanted to get one that was really obvious what was on there. Good point, Ming. That's an interesting idea, Shot Zombie. You can see on there that I've got that cheap Chinese, like, awful mask is hanging off of an EO14. And the British Mark IV is kind of hanging on its own filter. But that one's annoying and likes to jump off the shelf a bit. But at the moment, where I've got the straps around the filter, it's being fairly stable. There's a couple of hospital masks as well, Foxy the Pilot, that are like that British mask that are really big. I wouldn't know the names of them off the top of my head, but I think the British one was maybe called the Invalid Respirator. But there's ones like that are huge because they're kind of like pressure chambers, essentially, for a person. Yeah, I was saying earlier I really like it. Look, it's there. Yes, I do really like it. I think even if you've got the proper tooling, you can. But I think the thing that lets you swap the filter ports on a US M40 and the MCU2P requires a specific tool to do it. Seems a bit disgusting to hang gas masks in public toilets. What to protect you from the smell? It's probably better if it just in public toilets they had an automatic air freshener or a good air ventilation system, to be honest. Yeah, for those of you that missed the beginning, I'm just trying to stream via different methods today, and so far so good, and I've got the computer fans running really fast to lower temperatures. My GPU is down to 51C now. Should tell you what I might do. I might just completely max out my fans. There we go. It's going to be a bit louder. Will it go below 50C? I'm just seeing if I can... let's just save it like that. Save profile. Let's default. Yeah, it should work better. Sadly, there aren't cheap Geiger counters wilderness systems, but you can get some Chinese ones on eBay now, which is similar to the SOEX 01M I've got, which are like £70. So that'd be the cheapest you get a Geiger counter. Things like the DP66 and that proper lab Geiger counter I have there are generally like over £100 now. Well, it depends what you mean by weapons, doesn't it? But the rifles are deactivated, but the swords and everything are real because you're allowed to own them in the UK. Bows are real, obviously. Sorry, I've always forgotten the memo when people say I'm only allowed butter knives. Look, so I keep that on me as a knife for general use. I'm trying to remember where I put my Tangram knife now, because I was using that the other day and I can't remember where I put it because it's not on my normal spot on the desk. I have to look around the house for that at some point. It's probably on a random desk somewhere. Alright, cool, Bing. But yeah, I'll test the Mark 7 helmets for you tomorrow again, and then just say, but I'm pretty certain they did work. I think I tested them in the video, but I certainly tested the hour with, like, pistols and that. I think I might have even done it on one of the streams, used a helmet, but it seems to fit fine with helmets because basically the helmets sit against that bit there and make it flat like a ridge, and that's low enough down that it's not going to block the helmets. So yeah, I'm pretty sure when I tested it, it worked fine. Yeah, the only thing is old chemical warfare detector papers don't always work because of how old they are. No, I don't have a British baby respirator, unfortunately, but it would take up a lot of space, so probably best I don't have one, to be honest. Shums is much better than the GP5. Well, PBF filters contain asbestos. The PTM1 doesn't because it's just cotton, so get a PTM1. PTM1 is quite comfortable as well because it's actually, you know, the entire mask is cotton, so it's more comfortable than having a rubber mask on for long periods. Well, I assume I'd live here. Rocks, I mean, look. There's my bed behind me. Most people do live in a home, unless they're homeless. I'm sure you meant something else by that. It's just quite funny how that came across. Hardware stores, Amazon or eBay. I'd just say shop around till you spot a good filter at a good price. But I think on eBay you can still get Scott Abeck filters that have about 3 years left on the date for about £8. I don't have one other than like a cheap stainless steel kukri, but Bart bought one actually from Nepal that was, you know, like done. They melt down, I think it's Mercedes, bits of Mercedes cars, or Mercedes trucks, I think it is, like the spring steel from the trucks, like from the leaf spring, and then they make the kukris from that. I've got a video on my channel of it if you're interested. If you type in something like Nepalese kukri, you can see the video on it. That's really nice. M16 is better than the AK-47. I'd be tempted to say the AK-74 is better than the M16. Just by searching around, if it's cheaper than a lot of the other ones, it's a good price. If it's more expensive, it's not a good price. That's interesting, because I've got the new PC coming soon. I'm not going to be spending any money on stuff like that for a while, but I'll be tempted once my new PC comes and I've had another couple of months worth of pay. Well, when he says AK-47, I assume he means the AKM, but AKMs are pretty decent, aren't they? But obviously the AK-74 is just a better cartridge, really. No, I've not played any of the Call of Duty games in years. Yep, there you go. Bing knows the ones I'm on about. But yeah, they're really nice, aren't they? Yeah, as I was showing earlier, it's got the sort of grey vinyl NVA bag, because the Russian bags for these aren't as good. The Russian bags are like cotton ones, basically, but these are the actual proper waterproof bags, which are nice. It's definitely an NVA bag. There's, if you read that, it's in German. The writing there, the camera will focus on it. Name, Varnem, Diamonigrad, or something like that. But yeah, it's in German is the point. Yeah, my computer's very loud now for me in the room, but at least the temperatures are pretty stable now. What am I looking at? The GPU is staying under 50C and the CPU is staying under 60C. What will be great, though, is when I get the new PC. Unfortunately, I won't have it this week now because, for those of you that didn't catch this in the last stream, I ordered the new PC yesterday. It was meant to be dispatched today and come tomorrow. But then they phoned me up to say basically they didn't get enough 3900Xs in because they're in such, you know, like high demand. So they think I'll get the PC by the end of next week to early the week after. Oh, that's cool. Canvas, East German Bag and Blumenthal. That's very cool. Well, the USA has a much bigger army, a much bigger navy and everything. So the USA, but again, it depends. If they were fighting it in Eastern Europe, the Russians would obviously have the advantage, wouldn't they? In terms of force projection, the USA's got the world's biggest navy, the world's biggest air force, and the world's second biggest air force, because the US Navy Air Force is the world's actually second biggest air force. Yeah, I'm good, Jay Denny. I'm cooking in the room a bit because obviously where I've got the computer fans really revved up at the moment is throwing out a lot of heat, but that's what I want, because the heat's coming out of the case, not in the case. Is that the tribe on the island, or am I thinking of the Sentinelese? The ones where it's like the uncontacted tribe, or am I thinking of something completely different? Well, we have done traditionally a Radox, whether or not today, I don't know, but I know the German army is in a bit of a state at the moment, but we're not technically meant to be enemies, are we? So I don't want to get into the politics thing of could this nation beat up that nation. What, the lenses, hang on, the foil inserts, not foil, this. That thing? If you mean this thing, it's got the film lenses in, like the anti-fog inserts. See the PTM one up there? They have these in them. You cut them to shape and put them in. So it's anti-fog inserts, basically. Just open it and have a look. S6 40mm filters, yeah. Why did you throw out a piece of a mask kit? That was a stupid thing to do, wasn't it? What game are you playing? Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it, Shot Zombie, the way the Russians, like the Soviet Union, had a very good asymmetric system. Like, they knew they couldn't afford as many planes as the US, so instead they built really, really good anti-air systems. They couldn't afford as big a navy as the US, so they built very good anti-shipping missiles. All the Russian stuff works like that, where they basically looked at what the enemy had and then thought, how can we save money and basically make something that's a threat to what the enemy has, even if we can't build a bigger thing ourselves. Well, I've never personally met Putin, Nazar, so I don't know if I like him or not. Right, you're getting your warning now, Nazar, because I've just told people not to say this country versus that country, and you're doing it. It comes from real life, but yeah, it's now an A1 SLR, which is the British-built version of the FN FAL. I don't know what you really want me to say about it. Britain used them in the 50s up until the 80s, 762 NATO. It's just basically a version of the FN FAL. Out of all the games I've played, probably Verdun. I don't know if Tannenbaum has the same gas mask mechanics, but in Verdun you get the proper thing when you look through the mask. Because the problem is that if you look through a mask on a camera, most games do it like this, where you see like two things like that, because that's how it would look like, right, if you're looking through a camera. In reality, what you actually see is like just a blur between the two lenses, because obviously if you do that with your eyes, you don't see your two thumbs, do you, like that? It just kind of blurs. So Verdun has that, and Verdun has quite realistic death by gas mechanics as well. I doubt mine was used in the Falklands, but that was the rifle Britain used in the Falklands conflict, yeah. I'd say probably East Germany would win that Shot Zombie, because they had quite a big army in terms of tanks and everything. It depends. If you go into the late 80s, I'd say West Germany probably had the advantage of Leopard 2s and things like that. But earlier in the Cold War, I'd say East Germany. My NBC, both my East German NVA suit, both my East German NBC suits came absolutely coated in talc, yes. Out of all the ones I currently have, whether or not you'd consider the FM12 and CT12 post 2008, I don't. Do you mean like in terms of mask production year or when that mask was designed? Because some of the masks I really don't know when they originally designed, but the TR2002, that Italian one, I really like. No, I don't have a TB38 French respirator. I really can't tell you them when they're designed because I don't know of all that many masks that are post 2008 design wise. What, as in the most stupidly designed gas mask? Early cheek filter masks, because then they started the trend of cheek filter masks, which is a really bad idea. Again, I'd say if, like with the Spaziani TR2002, that's one of my favourite modern ones. I think they were quite strong though, weren't they, Shot Zombie, just because it would be one of the first countries involved in the conflict if the Cold War kicked off. So that's obviously why they were allowed to have one of the biggest militaries, because the Russians essentially wanted them there to slow down a NATO advance as much as possible. We're talking about all sorts of stuff, James. But yeah, if you look up Spaziani TR2002 mask, it's that panoramic mask I got recently that I really like. Don't forget to get your merch, everybody. I'll just show my merch. Cheers, Alex. I don't know when I'm doing the next political stream. Shall I just do a political stream this week? Shall I maybe do a political stream tomorrow? If it calms everybody down, let's just do a political stream tomorrow, shall we? I was going to wait until we found out the next Prime Minister as well, so I can have 2 weeks. So maybe I'll do a politics stream tomorrow to keep people calm. Didn't you see that one in the background there I designed? It's a dust mask, but I designed it myself and it works. If you look at the Teespring link below, some random guy, you'll see all the designs. It should come up as like a little bar below the video. But there's mugs, shirts, stuff like that. Bart's meant to be getting, if he gets it done, another design done this week. And I'll probably order that one on a hoodie or a shirt, and then I can wear it in a lot of the videos. I did a year of sixth form and hated it, so I took my exams, passed them, and then went straight into working when I was 18. Sadly, no, Colby, because there's no way I can... basically, if you buy merch off of Teespring, there's no way I find out who does it. So I would say, yes, you could have an invite. There's no way I can actually do it through Teespring, so I can't contact people who've ordered merch through there. What was that then, Shot Zombie? I probably don't know about this one. I know about West Germany's like G11 or G13, whatever it was called, like the weird clockwork cartridge, like caseless cartridge gun. What was the East German one? I've got an M17A2, Ewan. I don't know if most replica masks work, because they're not designed to work, they're just designed for reenactors. I'd say Samsung, but I don't have either an Apple or a Samsung, I have a Motorola. Because this is a good phone for what I want and it's cheap. I may have heard of that shot. I mean, is that in Wargame Red Dragon? Or one of those? Oh yeah, I do recognise that. Yeah, that is in one of the Wargames, isn't it? Oh, that's a cool looking gun. So is that just like a very high performance AK, basically? But I do like the look of that. That's cool. Yeah, do the FJB 40s or one of those lot LSTR 40s have it in Wargame Red Dragon? Because I'm sure that is in one of the war games, isn't it? As I said a few minutes ago, Jay Denny, basically, I've ordered it, I've paid for it, but because apparently the Ryzen 9s, or Ryzen 3s, whatever you want to call them, are so popular at the moment, nowhere's able to keep up with supply, so unfortunately it's going to be another week or two before I actually get the PC. But as soon as that's around, I'll have a PC that runs much faster and cooler than this one, because it's going to be such an upgrade from what I've got at the moment, because this is DDR3 RAM, I'm going for DDR4 RAM, high clock speed DDR4 RAM as well. A Ryzen 3900X processor, which is currently the best processor you can buy full stop. In terms of GPU, is it the 5700 XT or something it's called? It's one of AMD's top GPUs, sorry. It's sits somewhere between the NVIDIA 2070 and 2080, but again, for 1080p gaming, that's fine for me. Yeah, because the problem with mobile streams being is, like, on the side of these streams, I can see the chat all the way down the side of the screen. With mobile streams, you get like 3 messages max that can show up on the screen, and then they fade like 2 or 3 seconds after they're posted. And obviously, I've got a better microphone and webcam for doing these sort of streams, so I'd rather do them like this. It's just I forgot I could do them like this. Friday will probably be like 1 or 2 p.m. UK time, I don't know yet. That'd be amazing, Shot Zombie, if you did. No, you obviously should not do that, I Like Turtles. That would be called winning a Darwin Award. I prefer Queen the band to the Queen as in Her Majesty the Queen, but I don't mind the royal family, to be honest. They're not as bad as the politicians we have here. Point. What, the Mark IV British one are you looking at over there? That's a British Mark IV respirator. See, there's a British Mark V on the mug, and that's a Mark IV over there. That's cool. What is that? The MPIs they're called, aren't they? Shot Zombie, these German AKs. But I've always really liked the look of these German AKs. I'll tell you something that will piss you off. I saw a load of images. I can't remember if it was images or a video of some sort of FUD in America, and he bought an East German AK, and he decided he wanted to put aftermarket furniture on it. So he literally took a hammer to his East German AK and broke the stock and the grip off of it to fit like shitty rails to it. Imagine buying an East German AK and fucking smashing the furniture off with a hammer. But that's what this cunt did. There we go, that's an appropriate word of use, cunt. That's what he was. I know technically if you buy something, you do have the right to destroy it, but seriously, destroying the furniture on a kind of rare AK is horrible. I've never watched any Gordon Ramsay stuff. I know who he is, but I've never watched any of his stuff. Not really. VM40s were designed to kind of save your life, not be comfortable. Yeah. What makes it worse is, I swear, with some of those, you can actually take the furniture off without destroying it. Because on a lot of things like that, you can take the handguards off, can't you, without destroying it if you just use the time and effort to disassemble the gun properly. But I guess this guy's like, I'll just smash it with a hammer, it's faster. So yeah, he pointlessly destroyed the furniture on that AK with a hammer because I want to put my tactical grips on it. I don't know, Samuel. With a lot of the new knife restrictions, it will be a pain in the ass for me to buy stuff. But otherwise, it won't really affect me. Yeah, I play Arma 2 and 3, but when I get my new PC, I should be able to play the Arma games at a much more reliable frame rate, which will be nice. I don't mind Americans at all. I'm just saying I don't like Americans that buy classic guns and trash them. Yeah, so he's an idiot, isn't he? Because he could have just literally taken it off and sold it if he didn't want it. But no, let's fucking smash it with a hammer. It's like the people who buy the World War II, like German guns, and then paint them My Little Pony colours. Like, what game are you playing? I've got the Avon CT12 set up in the cupboard over there, ready to go, and my, what's it called one? What's the name of it? Forshida F2A4. Both of those are in satchels of spare filters and everything, all ready to go, and like gloves and everything. Okay, I like turtles. I'm going to pick the number 7. My favourite modern gas mask, the Avon CT12. Also, something completely unrelated. I've got another vape coming tomorrow because one of my, not this vape, the other one broke, but I bought another clearomizer for this one. As opposed to this one. This one's a bottom loading one. It's quite a cheap one, but actually seems to work quite well. The resistance is quite good on it, because if you look at that, it actually says it's 1.9 ohms resistance. Which, you know, it's quite impressive. Well, I've had this one on, it's pretty good, but yeah, the only thing I don't like with this one is that you can't really get enough airflow on it, but it's a very well made clearomizer. I think you should be killed for destroying an FG42. As libertarian as I am, there are some things that push me to the, this person deserves to be shot. Oh, that's a very good idea, Colby. If I could fit one on the wall, I could have a load of lighters on display, couldn't I, on the shelf? Good idea, Colby. You're a genius. I'll have to think of a good place to fit it on the wall. But yeah, I could get some more shelves like that. Or one those shelves that... Tell you what, would they fit on a thimble display? You know, thimble display case? I reckon lighters would fit on a thimble display case. Because you can get them for like 20 quid. I might do that. Yeah, I reckon I'll do that later on in the year when I can spare a bit more money. Buy a thimble-style display case. If you don't know what thimbles are, they're the things you have on your thumb while you're sewing. My aunt used to collect thimbles, so she used to have like a wall that was covered in thimble display cases. M17 at least wouldn't fall apart on you, so I'd say M17. In terms of practicality, Scott GSR, but I think the M17 had better build quality, to be perfectly honest. I mess about with flavours all the time, because at the moment I'll show you all the e-liquid bottles I've got open. I've got more than this open, but Cherry in 6mg. Raspberry menthol in 18mg. This one's nearly empty because I tend to use the stronger nicotine liquids the most because I've got quite a strong nicotine tolerance again now. Fruity menthol, that's the one I have in that clearomizer I just shown. That's 12mg, is it? Yeah, 12mg. If it focuses on any of these, I don't think it's going to. Mango, 18mg, so that's not a menthol one, it's just a like mango tasting one. And berry flavoured CBD e-liquid. So that's not actually nicotine, that's cannabidol, whatever it's called. The CBD from cannabis. Let's pop those back. I've also got some more e-liquids that are open and I rarely use, or not opened yet in a container. Yeah, see, yeah, that over there is the French riot armour. So it's the bit that's just the arms for it. I've not got the stab-proof vest under it, so it's just the shoulder and arm protection bits with a GP7 hanging on it. If that's what you're looking at, anyway. A head of state. The Queen doesn't have much power anymore because we have a sort of democracy with a parliament. and we have for a couple hundred years. But the Queen's the head of, head of state. But as I've said before, because the royal family aren't actually as bad as a lot of the politicians we have. If at some point the army had a coup and the Queen was put in charge, like the actual dictator of the country, I think we'd be in a lot better state, to be honest. But let's not bring up politics on the stream. But yeah, I'll go into the politics stuff a bit more, where we talk about would the Queen be a good dictator, a benevolent dictator for the UK in another stream. How long have we been going? For an hour. Right, my room is 29.1 centigrade at the moment, so I won't go on the stream for too much longer. What about not Friday? I'm doing a politics stream tomorrow, and I'll probably do that earlier in the day rather than the evening on the one tomorrow. Sadly not. I've got a sign for a fallout shelter up there, but I don't actually have a fallout shelter. Unless you consider this room a fallout shelter, but I don't. I mean, you could wear a mask in the room and it would protect you from fallout dust, but it's not a proper good underground fallout shelter. I've got 2 Zippos. Shot zombie. Yes, there's a special level of how, isn't there, for people like that, Mr. Tucker? Them and child molesters. Yeah, Hitler was Austrian. Yeah, stream's never as good when you don't watch them live. I agree. But would those people violate the NAT if they destroyed stuff like that? Could you commute them? What are you on about, Shop Zombie? Look at the bottom. You can see where I live. What are you on about? I'd love to have a fallout shelter as well, just because they're interesting. If I had a house with a basement, because bear in mind, most houses in the UK do not have cellars and basements, but if I ever had a house with a basement, I would definitely convert that into a fallout shelter, store loads of militaria in it. I'd probably make it look like that room from, Tremors, where there's the guy with all the guns. Is he called Bert? I can't remember his name, but the guy in Tremors with all the guns. It would end up looking like that. What, a USM1 helmet? I've got a clone of a USM1 helmet that was used by a European country, but I don't have an actual USM1. So anyway, I'll be finishing the stream fairly soon. When you say Chernobyl the movie, it's a TV series, but yes, I watched the TV series. So I can't say a Scott GSR. Check M10. I don't know, just because it made me so angry trying to fit the cheek filters in and then I ripped it. Do you have any cool helmet covers for them, Shot Zombie? Like that old Duck Hunter style one they used to have? I like the Vietnam era one with the leaves on it. Can't remember the name of that now. But there was that Vietnam era sort of one, wasn't there, where they put the leaf style pattern on them. They did that on person, Colby, because it would just sound comedic. If you had people go, "Oh no, Comrade Diablo, 3.6 Röntgen," it would just sound stupid. That's why they talk in their actual accents, because it doesn't draw attention to what... You don't get distracted by their accent. But they literally, everybody in the production said that early on. That's why they did that, because they originally had the actors try Russian and Ukrainian accents, and it was just distracting and kind of humorous, even though it wasn't meant to be. So yeah. What game are you playing? 3.6 Röntgen, not great, not terrible. Cool. Post pictures on the Discord, because I love those old M1 helmet covers, but yeah, please do, because I find them interesting. Yeah, the same thing they did in Death of Stalin, isn't it? I do find it funny that Stalin's got a Cockney accent in that. But yeah. Cool, I'll check it out later, Shot Zombie, because when this stream ends, I'm going to have to open the door and vent the room out, because the temperature's just going up and up and up and up. No, I've not got a metal detector. Yeah, cool. But yeah, I'll get around to checking it out when I next look on the Discord. No, I'm English. Jink X Soldger, if I'm pronouncing your name. I'm English. I suppose New Zealand would be a bit more like that. I mean, I can't really differentiate myself between an Australian accent and a New Zealand Kiwi accent, but they are slightly different. And that's all right. But yeah, Aussies and Kiwis talk a bit like that, or at least some of them do. I don't know if I can do a Texan accent. I mean, none of my accents are particularly good. They're just comedic. But you'll now and again, I'll get somebody come on the videos where they'll actually completely moan at me and go off the rails saying my accent's horribly offensive because people in the countries don't talk like that. I'm like, it's a stereotype. The one I found really funny was the one where I had a German person moaning at me about the German accent. And before he even said he was German, I said, you kind of seem like you're lacking a sense of humour. Is it because you're German? He's like, yeah, I'm German. I was like, there we go. And then I was trying to contain my laughter for a while just because, you know, it's a famous cliche that Germans don't have a sense of humour. Well, their sense of humour is a sense of humour that nobody else in the world has. No, I don't have a Granada Panama jacket. I've not had a Kiwi as in a New Zealander as a pet, no. I've done an older video on that, Jinx, but they've made the laws slightly tougher again recently. I'll say this before I go and then I'll go off, but what we have in the UK is a thing called Section 1 and 2 firearm ownership. Pistols are outright banned for civilians, like police and military can have pistols, but not civilians. Section 1 is rifles, Section 2 is shotguns. Section 2 limits you to shotguns that can hold no more than 3 cartridges at once, so pump and auto shotguns can't hold more than 3 cartridges. Obviously, break barrels are normally 2 or 1 cartridge, so they're allowed. And I don't think you can get slugs or buckshot on that. I think it's like restricted to birdshot and maybe things like number 4 or 5 buckshots. With rifles, Section 1, they're harder to get. You can have 22 long rifle in semi-auto, like Ruger 1022s and things like that. But once you go above 22 long rifle, it has to be bolt action or like manual action. So in theory, you could still have something like an SLR, but you'd have to charge it every shot, like the gas system would have to be deactivated in it. You have to donate to get on the Discord. Yep, there's a training spear in the background being held by the Riot Armor. What do you mean the big bug with a gas mask on in the background? There isn't a big bug on the background. What are you looking at? There's a skull with a gas mask on that poster. Yeah, sadly as well, they're trying to make the laws stricter because I don't know if they've done this yet, but you used to be able to own anti-material rifles, and that if you had a Section 1 license. So in theory, you could have anti-tank rifles and like 50 BMG rifles over here. But I think they're trying to ban those out right now, even though there's been no shooting incidents with them, you know, politicians wanting to ban stuff. But again, if you know dodgy people, if you know the right or the wrong people, if you want to put it that way, you can have full submachine guns and things like that because people in London and certain other places like to shoot each other with full auto guns. So, you know, there's always that. So again, with all these things, it's one thing that there's a thing in the law. It's another thing in reality. Yeah, that's what I was sort of saying, like police and military, Iron Man. Because I know there's more people who can have it than just that, but in general, civilians can't. That was my point. But yeah, private military contractors and private security contractors can have pistols. Because pistols are concealable. The reason pistols were banned was after the Dunblane school massacre when a paedophile shot a load of kids in the school. They just outright banned pistols. So the politicians could go, look, we're doing something, and they banned pistols. But anyway, I need to go off now. I've been going for an hour and 10 minutes. Don't forget to like the stream on your way out if you've not liked it yet. at least it's not crashed the stream, even if the room's got very hot. So I can probably do webcam streams for all of this week now, seeing as I've found a way to do it without crashing the PC. Yeah, in the UK, you can have lever actions. I used to know a guy who shot was it a 30-30? Like, you know, one of the lever actions in 30-30. But yeah, you can have massive cartridges like 30-30 and whatever the one is, 75-50 government, whatever they're called. I'm streaming tomorrow. Not sure the time yet. But yeah, bye everybody. Thanks for watching. And it's been a good stream. Goodbye. I don't know yet. I'll do an announcement when I'm streaming, as I just said. Right, yeah, let me end the stream now. So see you everybody, and thanks for the donation. I can't actually check super chats easily on this one. So apologies, I've forgotten already who did the super chat. But thanks for the super chat. The guy did the super chat. Right, see ya. Bye.